I was having a discussion this morning, and one of my friends was asking me what's the difference between the brain and the mind. It's actually very simple. The brain is the muscle that you have inside this head that you have. And you could compare this to an actual hard drive of a computer. You know, just like in any computer, there's a hard drive. And so what is the mind? The mind is the content or the software inside the hard drive, which we call memories or the mind. So basically, why is this relevant? Because, you know, in life, you will see it's very important for us to actually get to control the mind. Because in fact, maturity, real maturity, when you say someone is mature, is that person has actually have good control over the dictation of his mind. So pretty much, who you are today is pretty much based upon all the experiences that you've gathered through your senses, okay? Whether it's negative experiences or positive experiences, it's all recorded in the memory of our mind. And this pretty much affects us or affects of who we are to become. You know, it's a very simple process. Like if you don't like what you experience or you don't like who you are today, all right, or you want to make some changes, you cannot make changes by making changes on the external world. You cannot change people. You cannot change the weather. You cannot change the environment. If you want to make changes, that change must start in you. And where do you begin? You begin with the mind. Why? Because that mind, whatever mind you have right now, whatever you're thinking right now, who you are right now, okay, is a mere conglomeration of all the things that you've experienced in the past. So, if you don't like what you're thinking right now, you must change that. Because whatever you think automatically becomes your word, and these words that you always talk about, you always discuss, okay, automatically turns into actions. Okay, and those actions, okay, forms your habit. And habit pretty much forms your character of who you are today. And of course, character becomes your actual destination. It is your destination. Okay, so if you don't like where you are right now, so you must now look back and look into, okay, how can I change my thoughts? Right? If you're constantly thinking about positive things, if you're constantly thinking of criticism, okay, putting down people, talking about being a pessimist, then you must immediately look into what are the activities, what are the actions that are my senses doing today. Then I must be concerned about the state of my consciousness right now. The state of my mind today determines what I would be in the future. So if I don't like my situation today, I gotta start checking, okay, what do I perceive? What do I try to store in my memory today that would give me a better future? What do I feel? What do I feel in my mind today is what's going to determine my future. So when we speak of mindfulness, is actually taking back or sort of like going on a reset and saying, wait a minute, I, the person inside this vehicle called the body, I must take full control and start controlling, right, what my hands, what my touch would be doing, what I'll be looking at, what I'll be smelling, what I'll be tasting. I should now all be aware and start thinking. A person could never, ever experience peace unless he gets to control of the mind. That's why in the Bhagavad Gita, this ancient textbook, literature, or scripture, it is described there that for a person who has failed in controlling his mind becomes his greatest enemy. And for a person who has learned to train the mind, his mind become the best of friends. So you could turn your mind to be your worst enemy, which it is the worst enemy because you sleep with it every night, and there are nights that your mind would not even allow you to sleep, and it's terrible. Okay? And you could be sitting in a beautiful beach resort and your mind would be just crewing with you, worrying about things, and you're in a quiet place but you're one miserable person. Miserable because your mind is there and he is your worst enemy. But once you've learned to control your mind, he is your best friend, because the mind is such a powerful tool. Once you've learned how to use it to be able to focus, you can achieve amazing results, amazing successes. The brilliant people that have learned to control their mind came up with amazing things that we use today. And this is because they've learned to control this powerful force, this powerful instrument called the mind. So practice mindfulness. It's going to be good for you. It's going to be good for your family. It's going to be good for our whole society, and it's going to affect the whole world. You want to change the universe? Control your mind. Thank you so much.